Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 65 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Today, taking a little break from Blood Magic, though we will get back to it because there's still some stuff we haven't done, like fully automate the altar and a few other cool tasks. But we did accomplish the main task that we were looking towards, which was automating sulfur production. So that means we're pretty good here in terms of, getting resources, all kinds of powered up, and getting lots and lots and lots of ore. What is it? Tripling? It's a little bit more than tripling, but yeah, you get the idea. So with that said, my plan for today is to take a little break from all the magical stuff we've been working on and switch back to tech. So first off, how am I for like raw stuff? Actually, we have like a healthy amount of raw iron in here that I could probably process. I'm going to throw like 4 stacks in. I'm debating if I want to like full-blown export bus into this thing. This side is, I forget what side this is. This is the whitish. This side. Yeah. That's the side that we want to like export bus stuff to. I just haven't decided if I want to like fully do this yet, mostly considering the fact that, well, we don't really have quite enough power for this, I don't think, yet. So I'm not sure I want to do this yet, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. How am I for channels here, by the way? We have plenty. Plenty of channels. So, like, if I did this, right, and then we jumped in here, what we should see... Aha! That's pretty cool. Now, you know what? Actually, I don't want to do that. What I want to do... What I want to do is not that. I want to do raw iron ore. That's what I want to dump in there. Cool. Yeah. And then over here, I just teach you how to make raw iron ore. There you are. And then give you a crafting card. It shouldn't be too bad. Right now, he should know how to auto-craft raw iron ore, and he'll always put in the block form, which is what we want, because remember, this thing wants a set of 3, right? So it wants 3 resources at a time. So by doing that, like, we should be cool. Now, how did you get, like, gummed up Hellforged Slurry? Hellforged Slurry, you got all kinds of gummed up. How did you do that? I don't know. But we're going to fix that up right now. This is what I was trying to avoid, and I thought we had this sorted out by doing what I did. But apparently not. There we go. Now, actually, we're almost done with the raw iron ore in here, see? So that's actually pretty good. And then what will happen is when we don't have enough for the craft, it won't put it in there. So we guarantee not to have a problem. Like, that works pretty good, right? I'm going to just take these out for a moment so that I can do the raw slurry thing. Because that should be pretty cool. Now look at us, we're choking on power. We definitely are, well, not too bad on power. Might just be how much we're using. But I suspect if we went back home, we'd be seeing power being a problem. Let's go check on that situation real quick. So we're definitely, I hear my generator running there. Not terrible. We're definitely losing power, but we're not terrible. Not the end of the world. Okay. Sweet. Alright, I'll come back in a second once this is done processing everything. And then I want to get started, I think, on Pneumaticraft today. Because I like Pneumaticraft. Alright, so let's get started with Pneumaticraft today. To get going with Pneumaticraft, we're going to need a bunch of stuff, which I mostly just taught the A system how to make a bunch of. So that's going to be cool. The main thing that we need to get going with, though, is a few stacks of compressed iron. And to get that, we're going to need to explode some iron. There's a more efficient way to get it, which we will obviously get into shortly. However, the first way to get this is to just blow up some iron. So that's what we're gonna go do right now. Turn off my magnet. We're gonna drop some iron on the ground. We're gonna place some TNT near it, and then we're gonna blow it up. Now you're not gonna get all the iron from this. Some of the iron will be lost as a result of this. There we go. The first explosion of many potentially. So see, we lost. What's that? 1/6. Is that what we lost about, right? Yeah, we lost, about 1/6. So that's not terrible, though. That's not terrible. That's very doable. So that's the first piece of this here puzzle. What we will do now is work to make that more efficient. So the way to do that is to build a pressure chamber. So Pneumaticraft is all about pressure. There's many ways to create pressure. Most of them are from blocks called compressors. There's air compressors, which are powered by solid fuels like coal. There's liquid compressors that are powered by liquid fuels like ethylene, which we already have, and some other cool stuff. And then there's a bunch of other cool things that we'll get into. There's new ones that I haven't seen before. There's solar compressors, which look interesting, but some of them require some advanced stuff. So we'll have to take a look at those kind of in the future. But for now, we're just going to get started, right? And I'm going to start this episode by getting the basics of Pneumaticraft up and running. And then once we have it up and running, I'm going to look for a good building to put it in. I already did a quick look. I didn't see any Pneumaticraft buildings on the Discord. So we'll have to go and see if any pop up over there, or I'll wind up having to make something myself, which is always, a dangerous proposition, but we'll try our best. The other thing I want to do is try and do things a little bit differently if I can with Pneumaticraft. So let's see what we can come up with. So first off, I'm going to build kind of over here-ish, I think. Like I'll start building here, and then I'll build my building around the things that I make. Does that sound like a plan? Cool. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to put my Pneumaticraft ingots away, and then I'm going to work towards getting a pressure chamber. Pressure chambers are multi-block structures that can either be 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5, and they have to be hollow in the middle. So 5x5 is the biggest, and every time I try to go to make a 5x5, I regret it. Usually, don't I? I feel like I do. Should we like split the diff and go 4x4? I don't know. Odd numbers is my thing. I don't know if I like even numbers. I might just go 5x5 and call it a day. Yeah, let's just do it. Why not? So, well, you know what? We'll start with 3x3. Is that cool? Right? So 3x3 on the bottom would be 9, 18, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 22. Okay. That should be a good start. And then I want a pressure chamber valve. I'm going to want a pressure chamber interface times 2. And then I wouldn't mind some pressure chamber glass. That should be cool as well. And let's get this thing here built. And I'm just going to kind of line it up with that house over there, right? That looks pretty good. Okay, and we can have our magnet back on, by the way. So the valve is where air pressure goes into, right? So like, we put that in. Yeah, we could get a pneumatic wrench at some point. We'll hold off on that, though. So the valve is where air pressure goes in. That's going to be what's used to pressurize this pressure chamber, okay? The interfaces are what are used to insert and extract items, okay? So that should be cool. Let's see. So you're blue on that side, you're orange on that side. Yeah. Let's pop this guy here and see what happens. That's cool. Is he backwards, though? Importing items. And you are exporting items. I kind of want to reverse that. So I'm going to place it this way. And now you should be importing items, and you will be exporting items. So the way this pressure chamber works is maintains air pressure, right? When you put items in there, that door has to open, and it's going to lose a little bit of pressure. So that's why the door exists, so that the pressure can be maintained until it needs to craft something. And then that door will open to release the item, again losing a little bit of pressure. And we're only going to let it export items that were crafted in here. So that's the way we want this initially set up. Cool. So that should be a good setup. And then to get started, we're going to want a basic air compressor. So I'm going to start with you. Luckily, I can control click most of what we need to make. So that's pretty cool. And then in addition to that, we're going to want some pressure tubes. Okay, and pressure tubes will allow you to connect and maintain pressure. Now, here's the trick with pressure tubes. Make sure that they're all sealed up and connected to something. Otherwise, your pressure will leak. And I'll demonstrate that in a moment here. So let's get some coal. And then you're just going to start generating pressure. And that's pretty cool. You can see it building up there. So easy peasy. Now, like I said, if you have a pressure tube dangling that's not connected to anything, it's going to start losing pressure. So see how the pressure is going down? So don't do that. Make sure that you have like a sealed thing, right? And anytime you break or do something like that, it's going to quickly lose pressure, right? So the pressure inside the pressure chamber here just got lost. So we basically just like wasted all that pressure, which is the equivalent of energy, right? Like think of it like energy if it helps, right? So just don't disconnect things for too long. I mean, obviously as you build and adjust your system, you're going to have to disconnect things. And that's going to be bad. The other problem with pressure is if it builds up too high, things go boom. Things can explode. Exploding is bad. Basically, any machine that accepts pressure will have a red line. Most of the early game machines are at 5 bars of pressure. Some of the later machines can handle higher pressure amounts, and they will be okay at higher tiers of pressure. These machines, definitely 5 is the magic number, so we're going to be careful about that. And not let it go too high. To do that, all we have to do is stop this from running. So all we can do is we can say, hey, you require high redstone signal, and he will stop producing pressure when he gets no redstone signal. Okay, and then we can do that, and he'll start running again. Now the downside with the air compressor is it runs all the time as soon as it starts. So like you can toggle it on, it's just not gonna very easily stop. Right, until it burns up that last piece of coal, which is the reason that I'm probably going to immediately jump into the liquid compressor, right? So for that, we're going to need a small liquid fluid tank, and another. I'm just going to make another one of these, even though I probably won't be using the regular air compressor anymore. But I want to have both for a moment at least. Okay, and that guy's going to sit right there. Let's hook up one of these pressure tubes to him so that he's cool. And you'll notice that this guy now has the same amount of pressure as the system. Pressure always equalizes and balances out. So as you add more machines, the pressure will stabilize across all of them and balance out. Do note that it takes a little bit of time, especially as machines are further and further apart from each other, for that pressure to balance, which is why this is at 79, 80, and this is at 78, 79. He's further away from these, so it takes a moment for these two machines to kind of balance with each other. Now I should be able to get ethylene. So do I have an ender tank? I know that I made, yes, there we go. Ender tank, sweet. And let's get a bucket. Do we have ethylene on the, we don't. Okay, that's fine. We might think about adding that. But here's a liquid ethylene bucket. I should be able to stick that in there. And now he's running, and he's going to be generating pressure. Pretty good. 12.5 milliliters per tick is the production on that guy. This is 10. So this one produces a little bit more. Now the benefit of the liquid compressor is that when you give it a redstone signal, he stops immediately, which is pretty cool. Like no more pressure production at all. Now is this one still running? No, he's pretty much done. Oh, right. I need to set you to high signal, right? So he's running, he's creating pressure. I turn off the redstone signal and he's immediately stopped, right? Like no more running, no more pressure production. Unlike this one where when the redstone signal turns off, it finishes burning that last piece of coal. This one, as soon as you turn it off, it's off, like stopped, full stop, no more, okay? That's pretty cool. And that's what we're gonna use to power up our stuff here. Cool. I might want a couple of these liquid compressors. I feel like that could be pretty neat. Let's think about doing that. I think that's probably the plan. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm going to say that that's the plan. Cool. So I'm going to break you for a sec, which is okay because this is a sealed thing still. Like, even though this is a corner, there's at least some pipe coming off of it and connecting to something, so it stays closed, and that's what's important. So let's do... I'm going to upgrade you to another liquid compressor. I think that's the way I want to go. Good. So we're going to have 2 liquid compressors. I might wind up with a third, and I might want these to be a few blocks away. So let's get some more pressure tubes here. See how quick I was? I was quick to make sure we didn't lose too much air. Okay. Now if I break you and break you, that's cool. And you actually retained your ethylene, which is nice. Very, very nice. Okay. All right. And then I want you to also run on high signal. So you're both set at this moment to run on a high signal. That should be cool. I might want one more just to balance everything out. So let's do that. Why not? Easy enough. There you go. And boom. Now we have 3 of these dudes ready to roll. And we can just use some redstone signaling to charge them all up. I might need, let's see, I want you to be high signal again. The one thing that I'll say is this always mixes me up because lots of mods use redstone torch to signal high. That one always confuses me. It's like the opposite of what some other mods do. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just, you know, it is what it is. Now you have plenty of liquid ethylene in there, which is good. Do we want to laser IO this? Because then I could say only keep 1 bucket of liquid ethylene in at all times, or even 100 millibuckets. Like, we don't have to put a lot in there. That could be cool. That could actually be really cool. I'm thinking that's what I want to do. So yeah, let's laser IO this. Okay, so you're going to come out and... Where's my dude here? Card holder. Sweet. Where do we want these laser nodes to sit? How about underneath? Does underneath sound like a plan? I think yes. Okay. And then let's get our laser wrench. And you guys talk to each other now. Okay. So on the up face here, we're probably going to want more laser card or fluid cards. And what else do we need here? We're good on that. We're good on that stuff. We're probably going to want more redstone cards though. So get me a few of them. Yay for auto crafting. Am I right? Okay. And then let's also sleep through this night. No, not you. You. Thanks. So what I want to do is use laser IO to both control the redstone signaling and the inserting of ethylene. Okay. So you, my friend, come over here and be on the down, and that should be good. So on the up face, and let's get our card cloner here because I should be using this more because it's super fun. So on the up face, you're going to insert on, how about we use, it doesn't really matter what channel we use, right? But magenta for ethylene. Does that sound cool? Channel 2. And filter that to ethylene. But I only want 100 millibuckets. Okay? So now if I come over here, is it left click to copy it? Yes. And then we can see that's what's going to happen. So then we come over here on the up face, right? This was up face that I did this on? Yeah. So on the up face here, we do this and right click, and then it puts all that stuff in there. Very, very proud of the card cloner. See? I did that. And it used up the counting filter from my slots here. Pretty slick, right? Pretty cool. That's pretty good. Yeah. And then on the down, we can have you... on there, I would like you to extract round robin that. And now everybody should get 100 millibuckets of ethylene. As a reminder, I manually put a bucket in here earlier. That's why he has more. But these two only got 100, and they're going to stay at 100. And anytime we use any, done, right? And then how about here on the up face, we will do magenta redstone channel output weak. And same here on the up face, output weak, I mean, if I wanted to, I could copy this. I'm pretty sure you can copy redstone card settings, right? Hey, yeah, it does work. Cool. I wasn't sure. I was dire, please. So now, how about over here for the time being, we will input on magenta, and we'll just throw a lever down and see if this works. So if I do this, these should all turn on no problem, right? And then what should happen is he should stay at 100 millibuckets at all times, which is pretty much not working. Why are you not working? Oh, nope, you're working. Nope, you're cool. Why? What? Why do you have a bucket's worth? What in the what is that? 990, 98. How did you get a bucket's worth? On the down fluid card? I mean, you transfer. That shouldn't matter, though. That shouldn't matter. Did I just find a bug? I may have just found a bug. You're staying at 100 like you should. How did you get a full bucket's worth? That shouldn't have happened, in theory. And you should be staying at 100. I mean, if I wanted to, I could, you know. But that shouldn't matter. Round robin true. Extract. Exact is off, so that shouldn't matter. Interesting. Yeah, you're being a little bit weird. I don't know why that happened. I'll keep an eye on it and see if it starts misbehaving. I mean, it's clearly kind of working. I'm just wondering why you aren't immediately getting filled back up, because I would expect you to. Okay. But notice that we're already produced up to like 3 bars here. So one of the things we're going to want to get from Pneumaticraft, I always forget the name of this thing, but I remember what it looks like. And that's the key. There is close, this thing. Pressure gauge tube module. This module emits a redstone signal, the strength of which depends on the tube's pressure. When upgraded with the module expansion card, the threshold can be configured precisely in the GUI. In other words, this will tell us how much pressure is in the tube and emit a redstone signal dependent upon it. Cool. So all we need is a pressure, do this thing, and then this thing, and then that's cool. Okay. So put you away, and now we can measure the amount of pressure on the tube. Okay. So he's emitting a redstone signal at the moment of 5 because he's at 295 out of 5. Okay. I think it's half a bar, yeah, half a bar equals 1 redstone. So like 0 to 0.5 is 0, 0.5 to 1 is 1, 1 to 1.5 is 2, 1.5 to 2 is 3, 2 to 2.5 is 4, and 2.5 to 3 is 5. So as soon as we hit 3, we should be at 6 redstone signal. See? And then as soon as we hit 3.5, we should be around 7. So what we can do, okay, is this. So I would like to stop at 4.5, which would be 7, 8, 9, right? Is that right? So if we stopped at a redstone signal of 9, we should be good. So if I put you here, and we had an input on magenta, and we connected these guys, and we did that. Now, because this is going to be redstone signal turns on, what I want to do is reverse these. So I want to say is when you're on a low signal, you're allowed to run. Okay? So So that means once this redstone dust turns on, he should disable all the liquid compressors. Ready? So as soon as this hits 4.5, this redstone dust will activate because it'll get, you know, one more signal strength, and that'll turn off. Ta-da! And we're off. Cool. Cool, right? Isn't that cool? So that's fully automated now. It'll automatically shut off when it hits the appropriate pressure. Now, what's probably going to start happening eventually is we will eventually be using pressure, and then it'll dip, and then, you know, we'll see what happens. So like an example here would be iron. If we took some iron, and what I like to do is, like, as much as I can, not a trapped chest, but just like a regular chest. I like to insert as fast as possible and full stacks at a time if we can. So again, I'm going to laser IO this because, you know, Dyer, he loves his own mod. Hey, look, I made laser IO because, you know, I wanted to be able to do certain things. So don't be surprised when I'm using my own mod here. Okay, so on the down, you're going to extract anything that goes into this chest. But I want you to do it super fast, so a stack every, well, maybe not every tick. We can do it every 10 ticks. That should be fine, right? And then what'll happen is once the item stack goes in here, it'll open the door, it'll lose a little bit of pressure, and that'll be okay, right? So on this that insert, cool. And then same deal over here, on the interface side, you're going to extract about every 10 ticks. Oh, right, I need to put these in here before I do that. A stack at a time every 10 ticks, okay? And then on the down can be an insert. Cool. And we're getting low on item cards, so I might as well make a few more. Sweet. All right, let's give it a shot, right? I throw half a stack of iron in there. So watch what happens. It goes in there. It's using up some pressure. See that? And then it went out. Now it restabilized with the rest of the thing, right? So it actually used a healthy amount of pressure for that craft. And different crafts in the chamber use different pressures. So if we look at compressed iron, for example, when we look in here, we have to be at 2 bars of pressure for this crafting to work. Different crafts require different amounts. So like if we looked at this, it only needs 1 bar of pressure. This one's 1.5 bars of pressure, right? All different values for different crafts. This one needs negative 0.75. That's how you extract enchants off of items. So we're gonna have to see if this does all the enchants or just one at a time. I'd really like to see it pull all the enchants off at once, but we'll see. You could also turn coal into diamonds, but that requires 4 bars of pressure. Not that that's a problem, but that's pretty cool, right? And this, by the way, is how we will automate with Applied Energistics. We'll 100% have an AE automation piece here, and that'll be pretty cool. Okay. So then you don't need to exist anymore. You don't need to exist anymore. I can set you back to that, and then when I put you in here, you should stack. And for now, that's like a little bit of a temporary setup. We will do better in the future, right? But now we're about to hit 4.5 bars of pressure. So then everything shuts off. We're done. We're cool. I like it. All right, let's come back in a second. All right, so that's a good initial start to Pneumaticraft. Now, Pneumaticraft has a bunch of really cool stuff. I like this mod because there's a lot of fun mechanics and a lot of fun automation challenges. This was a minor one, right? Like getting this to automatically shut off. It was relatively easy, right? Not a hard automation challenge. Automation challenge nonetheless, though. You know, so there's that. The other parts that I like is there's all kinds of other challenges like this that we're going to have to struggle through to accomplish automation. And you know Dyer, he likes automation things, so that's going to be fun for me. The other part is that there's some really cool and fun stuff you can get. There's drones that can do all kinds of like almost anything for you that are super fun. There's the player interface, I think, from Pneumaticraft. Is that what it's called? Yeah, player interface, something like that. Pneumaticraft interface, something like that. Aerial interface, is that it? Yeah. It can interact with the player's inventory, so we can like automate player inventory with stuff. There's just a bunch of cool nifty things in Pneumaticraft that I want, plus the enchanting thing that I talked about wanting to do. So for now, we're going to wrap up the episode. We'll come back next time, and we'll advance through the mod and check out some of the cool gadgets and fun things we can do with it. For now, Adult20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.